repeats. Was curious how marriages are handled in Scientology. Do they just see a justice of the peace and get married? Or is there a formal wedding process or procedure laid out in Scientology's rules and regulations? And if it is done at the church, who does it? Is there a designated person or branch that does weddings? Good question. So, yes, the Church of Scientology does have formalized wedding procedures. There's a 1-ring and a 2-ring ceremony. I remember those off the top of my head. I don't remember. I know there's those 2 ceremonies. I think there might be 2 or 3 others. These are just things Hubbard dashed off, sort of copying standard, stereotypical wedding vows kind of things, and then incorporating Scientology into it. So, like, for example, in the ring ceremony, you hold up the ring and you kind of imagine a little ARC triangle in the ring, and you put it on. This is us joining together in ARC. And so, and there's a lot of emphasis on communication and the importance of communication in a marriage. And of course, there's nothing wrong with that. Marriage is all about communication. So there is a minister, there's a minister's course in Scientology. Any Scientologist can do it. And if they do that course and they go through a little ordination process, then they are ordained ministers in the Church of Scientology. And because it's a recognized religion, and then they even got this power in England where it's not a recognized religion, but they have marriage powers over there now. All throughout the United States, of course, in Australia, you have, Scientology ministers can perform marriages. But they have to do this course in order to do it. Not because the law says so, but because Scientology says so. And the post in a church, the staff member who would do it is the chaplain. And this is a person who's in Division 6B, last time I checked. Not that really means a whole lot. It's just a public-facing division of the organization. And the chaplain is there mostly to resolve conflicts and difficulties going on between parishioners, but chaplains also will do marriages if they're asked. My dad was a minister, but he was not holding the chaplain post, and he did marriages. I think he married like 2 or 3 couples. So, it's fairly commonplace that if, you just find a Scientologist that you like, who's a friend or something, who's a ministerially trained, and they will perform your wedding ceremony. Scientologists do not have to stick with L. Ron Hubbard's wedding vows. They can write their own, and often do. And that is pretty much how Scientology weddings work. They look and sound and feel very much like any other wedding. People get all dressed up, and they go through all the stuff, and the families come, and there's presents. I mean, it's a usual sort of customary traditional wedding situation. There are plenty of Sea Org members who didn't have the time or money or inclination to have a big formal wedding, and they will often go to a Justice of the Peace or to, when I was in the Sea Org, we went to Vegas. My first marriage, we got married in the Chapel of Love at Circus. So, and that was not even a Scientologist performing the ceremony. So they don't even have to do a Scientology ceremony or be married by a Scientologist in order to get married. Nobody really in the end, nobody cares about that, In the Sea Org, you just want to get married because you want to have sex, So that's generally speaking why people, get hooked up in the Sea Org, and then they just kind of make a go of it, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So that's what I can say about all that.